The following story was submitted to me by a lady who decided to try scam baiting. She made up a fake persona and played along with a romance scammer. Sometimes it's fun to give them a taste of their own medicine. How I catfished a romance scammer as a reckless executive named Jessica. The birth of Jessica. It all started on Scrabble Go when I, completely by accident, stumbled into the world of romance scammers. I used bait photos, not my own photos. To my surprise, men started flooding my inbox. Most of them turned out to be scammers, and I got fascinated by how easily they preyed on people. Instead of blocking them, I decided to play along, purely for science, of course, and that's how Jessica was born. Meeting Elon Edmond. One scammer in particular stood out, Elon Edmond. He claimed to be an oil field worker from Alaska. His profile pictures were of a man named George, an elderly but strikingly attractive man who looked like a millionaire. I decided to play along with him and let him believe I was his next big payday. I created a whole persona for myself, Jessica, a high ranking executive who chain smoked and drank wine constantly and spent her days ordering takeout, hiring house cleaners, or enjoying her wine. Our fake life together. Over the next month, we built this entire fake life. I sent him pictures of luxurious homes where I supposedly resided, with stories about basements in desperate need of repair, and my life was about reckless spending, endless vacations, and all around trashy behavior. I sent him fake vacation photos from North Carolina and California. I often traveled around the country for work. I told him I competed in beauty pageants. I ordered food from takeout places every day and never cooked a single meal. My house cleaners were always over since I was too rich and lazy to clean. I had such a problem with wine that I fell and got a concussion and ended up in the hospital. And when Elon asked what I'm up to, I'd simply say, quote, "You don't want to know." He always insisted, "Yes, I do, hun." And I'd respond with something silly like, "I'm pooping." To which he would reply, "That's very nice, dear." And he never questioned any of this. Jessica's real estate empire. As things progressed, I let slip a little nugget that truly piqued Elon's interest. I casually mentioned to him that I owned and managed several apartment complexes. I explained that I had two large units with multiple apartments each and that my rental properties brought in about $12,000 a month. Elon was practically salivating at the idea of me being this successful real estate mogul, and he immediately started asking questions. Things like, how much do you pay in property tax? Are you responsible for repairs? How much do these cost? What about bills? How much do you pay for utilities? The more I talked about my fake real estate empire, the more excited he got. His attention was completely consumed by the idea of dating a woman who could provide for him and who was a successful independent woman with money and power. Little did he know this entire persona was a carefully constructed web of lies. The diesel crane disaster, Elon's sob story. By late July, Elon came to me with the inevitable he needed money. His diesel crane broke down and he needed $7,700 for repairs. To make it sound more convincing, he told me that Chinese engineers had evaluated the situation and said he needed a new oil pump. I told him I would pray for him and reassured him that everything would work out. Quote, "I'll pray for a miracle, honey. It'll all be okay. Don't worry. God will never forsake you." Unquote. But despite his religious beliefs, he started insisting that God wasn't going to help him. I kept offering my prayers, but made it clear, "No, I'm your queen, and a queen doesn't give money to her king. The king is supposed to support his queen, not the other way round. I'll always love you and offer you emotional support, but I'm not giving you a dime. Right now, my king is looking like a weak man." Elon was stunned. This was not how scams usually went. The proposal and Sims to fantasy. Things escalated quickly, and Elon proposed with a K jeweler's engagement ring, probably stolen from online image search. I said yes, and we started planning our big wedding day. To make it even better, I created a Sims 2 family of us, complete with fake children, and sent him fake screenshots. He loved it. He promised to love me forever. The scammer swap and my final clapback. As our relationship progressed, something felt off. Elon's tone changed, and it was clear the original scammer handed me off to someone else, which happens more often than not. The new guy wasn't as smooth. He was dumber, sloppier, and clearly frustrated. In a last ditch effort to intimidate me, Elon threatened to send explicit photoshopped images of my character that I played online using her photos to my employer. Without skipping a beat, I snapped back. I told him, "You can't do that. Those images are for my OnlyFans. How dare you distribute my content for free?" Elon lost it. He raged, called me names, and completely spiraled. At that point, I knew I had won. In the end, eventually, Elon told me that he had moved on and found a new woman. He said she wasn't a drunkard like me or a cigarette addict, as he put it, and that she wasn't a, quote, lazy woman who can't cook or bear children. He claimed she would actually take care of him, and I couldn't help but laugh. "Oh, that poor woman, little does she know she's about to be swindled," I said. The persistent Elon still hooked on Jessica. Even after I shut him down with my firm no, Elon didn't give up. He just couldn't quit Jessica. He would pop into my messages, checking in like we were still in some kind of relationship. Over a year after I stopped responding to his pleas for money, he'd still message me, asking if I still cared about him. And it was so bizarre, but it was clear he was obsessed. He would even throw out little guilt trips like, "Do you still love me, Jessica? I've been thinking about you. I miss you, and I'll always love you, baby. How's life going? I hope you're doing okay." I mean, who still chases after someone after they've been strung along like that? But there he was, the scammer who just couldn't let go of the charade. There it is. I hope you enjoyed. We'd like to thank this lady for sharing her story. While we don't recommend scam baiting, sometimes people do it, and it's kind of fun when they play along. In this case, the scammer didn't give up, and a lot of them don't. They'll come back months or even years later. As you know, with some of my Betty chats, I've had scammers come back 3 and 4 years after we ended a conversation with them, and they just start up right where they left off, wanting forever love and all your cash. If you'd like to share your encounter, whether you were scam baiting or you were actually a victim of a romance scam, drop me an email, scammingscammers@gmail.com, and I will narrate your story into a video. Upload any screenshots or any information you have so it helps me to verify the story. And as always, take care, and until next time, stay safe.